This is Duke
Global trade and environmental justice.
Human rights issues are still.
The term Ubuntu.
About the Alien and Sedition Acts.
Is making inferential discovery.
The importance of an archive.
The John Hope Franklin Center.
Well, thanks very much for having me here today. My name is Patrick Duddy. I'm the new diplomat in residence here at Duke University. I was formerly the U.S. ambassador in Venezuela, and prior to that served in Washington as Deputy Assistant Secretary for the Western Hemisphere, and in a wide variety of countries and postings around Latin America. As diplomat in residence, I'm here to be a campus resource for faculty, staff, and students, and specifically to be a source of information and, as appropriate, guidance on the process of entering the State Department as an intern, as a Foreign Service officer, or in some cases as a civil servant. We need good people in the Foreign Service from every walk of life, every ethnicity, and we think that Duke is a good place from which to base our efforts at reaching out to the larger community, but especially the Duke community, to inform them and to encourage them to think about a career in public service, and specifically in the State Department. Well, you know, as most people, I think, recognize, certainly implicitly, our economy is more globalized than it has ever been. Our national welfare is more affected by what's happening in the rest of the world than it has ever been. And as a consequence, it is more necessary than ever that we draw on the full range of talent available within the United States to represent the American people and to advance our interests around the world, to work toward a more peaceful and prosperous world. The diplomat in residence is sent out, in my case, to Duke University to represent the Department of State to an entire region. And so while I am based here at Duke, I expect to travel to the other major universities in the region to talk to faculty and students about the Foreign Service and about the challenges, the opportunities, the rewards of service abroad in American embassies and consulates around the world, as well as the very, very dynamic policy environment in Washington. You know, as diplomat in residence, I expect that I'll be regularly available to the staff and students here at Duke. I'll be organizing preparatory sessions for the Foreign Service examination. Right now, a very high priority for all of us who are working as diplomats in residence around the United States is to encourage new juniors and rising seniors to apply for internship programs. I've had interns from around the United States work for me both in Washington and abroad, and I think it is a very challenging experience, and one that students here at Duke would find especially rich. And it would perhaps help them think about a service abroad as well as a career in government. There's no one career that prepares one ideally for the Foreign Service. Much of the material on entering the Foreign Service, which is available at careers.state.gov, will emphasize that. For those who are looking for advice or counsel or simply orientation, I'm going to be here at the Franklin Center a good part of the year, and am always available to speak to individuals or small groups about the internships, about the Foreign Service examination, about life in the Foreign Service, about life abroad, about language study, the challenges of working in consecutive assignments in Francophone Africa, and then Paris or Brussels, or Lusophone Africa, and then Brazil or Lisbon. And of course, we all know that the challenges in the Middle East today are very great and are fundamental to our long-term interests. And we're looking for people who are willing to, are ready to, embrace the challenge of working in circumstances that are new and different for them, and in parts of the world perhaps that they've never visited.
Produced by Duke University. Online at duke.edu.